So this is the last day of my ski trip to Whitefish Mountain Resort in 2019. Finally, I decided to check off Mully's Moguls. Whitefish Jesus, have mercy on my legs.
So, here I am on Mully's Moguls at Whitefish Mountain Resort in 2019. And you get to Mully's Moguls mainly by taking the Swift Creek Express chairlift, get off, and then go to the right and bear to this left side as you're going downhill to the skier's left. Get up against those trees, and you're on Uppers Mully's Moguls. Kind of misnamed right here as there are no moguls. They groomed this section. And today we got a nice, lovely coating of fresh powder, a couple inches. Nothing big, but enough to make it nice. And it's not too steep here. And as a result, you have a variety of skiers. You got some making decent turns, and you got some who are definitely in the process of learning how to ski. So take that under advisement when you ski it. So this was our last day at Whitefish Mountain Resort in 2019. We had a mix of conditions. We had a couple of full bluebird days to rip groomers. We had a number of powder days of skiing too, getting ready for moguls and just skiing some lovely powder. There's another way to get to Mully's Moguls. And that way is take the big mountain express to the top of the mountain and then take the big ravine run down. As you're in that first sustained pitch, stay to the skier's right, or at least pay attention to the skier's right, and you're looking for the interstate cat track, which you see coming out right there where that skier's coming through. And that's where I am. And I'm taking this cautiously as I tend to. Again, it comes down to not wanting to get hurt, and the code dictates that they have to yield the right of way, but a little extra effort, and I'm in no hurry, so I'm going to make sure the way is clear, and I'm going to make darn sure I don't wind up in the hospital by enforcing a right of way. Next time I ski this, I'll approach it on the right side. I don't have to stop. So here I cross over the cat track, and I am now in the wild snow. And as you can see, I am making turns. This is really fun. I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm finding troughs to rail. I'm going over the tops of the bumps, and I'm skiing around the side. So I got it all pretty much down here. And I'll tell you one thing. As I was approaching this and getting into it, I was feeling some trepidation. I've never successfully skied a full-on mogul run in the past, and so I was a little worried about it. I don't know why, but I was. At Lutzen a few years in the past, I was on an intermediate trail that had moguls on it, or we should call those actually giant ice studs, and I had a hard time with that. I didn't crash, but I didn't make any decent turns. It was just sort of get around one bump, push myself back, sort of do a pick up my legs, turn my skis around that way to get myself turned around. It wasn't pretty. It took a while. But here I am making legitimate turns here. These aren't, maybe these got ice studs down below, but they're covered over by some good soft snow. And I think that made a huge difference. Maybe I could ski those ice studs now. I don't know. I'll have to find out. But the one thing that helped me is that powder snow gave me a little more confidence that I could handle this, because the previous days with the fresh powder coating, maybe 4 or 5 inches, nothing big, we'd be on a groomed run. But with 5-6 inches of new snow on it, and 2 hours after open, that's going to be a mogul field. Nothing big, but you're skiing bumpy conditions. And the other thing that's happened subsequent to that Lutsen experience is I've developed some more technique. So took lessons here on my first trip that helped with my turn quite a bit. And then I've noticed when I'm skiing the bumps and that I am extending my knees and waist or hips as needed, and I'm flexing them as needed as well. So extending them down into the trough and flexing them as I go over to the top and keep things nice and smooth. I'm not getting shoved back into the back seat, and so I can make these turns. So that's what you need to ski moguls. A good, solid, fundamental ski turn. You need to be able to extend your knees and hips and keep that upper body quiet, and you'll probably notice that I'm not doing a good job of that. I have a tendency every now and then to take a twisty turn. I get my head looking uphill, and as a consequence, the rest of my body follows. And that's why I went down on the ptarmigan bowl in bumps, because I took a turn, looked uphill, my upper body went, and I went for a swim. I'm doing a little bit of everything here. I'm railing those troughs, and that's fun. I like to do that. One thing that helps me in here as well is the mental trigger when I'm making a turn. So I might spot a trough somewhere and I want to turn into that. So I ski towards that, and then when I get into that trough, in my head I'm like, turn, and the turn occurs, and I'm not really noticing any extra weakness with the right turn or a left turn. I'm doing both of them pretty equally, so that's a good development in my skiing. Occasionally you see my body swing around, the poles come into view, the hands come into view. That's one thing I got to work on. I got to stop looking uphill when I'm skiing. It's sort of just a little nervous I might turn into somebody, and I really need to have my focus downhill and let the uphill skiers worry about that. Again, it comes back to this idea of the code and making sure I'm not taking a right away when maybe I shouldn't, but I really got to pay attention downhill, make sure I'm not running into someone downhill on me. So these videos serve a number of purposes for me. They're definitely not ski prawn. I'm not showing great technique here. You don't watch my videos to learn how to ski. You might watch them to learn how not to ski, but you're not watching ski prawn. I don't hate it, but I don't care for heavy metal music a lot, so you're not going to find my videos like ski prawn of ripping down mountain spines to heavy metal music. I like classical music anyway, and I want to make videos that show how most people are skiing. Another reason I make these are maybe you're going to Whitefish Mountain Resort and you want to get a lay of the land. Watch these videos and you know what to look for. I do this all the time when I'm trying to take on a new run. I do a little YouTube recon. YouTube and how-to, great thing. I'm also doing this just simply to relive my experiences at Whitefish Mountain Resort. I'm not going back this winter, so I want to have these to relive my memories and keep this enthusiasm up for my next trip to Whitefish Mountain, which will be the following winter. So I like this resort a lot. Number of reasons. I like it, the fact that if you're at the top of the mountain through the Big Mountain Express, you've got 360 degrees of skiing. You can access the whole mountain from that point. Green runs eventually, and obviously all the intermediates, the blacks and the double blacks. Here's my cousin Lars. We clack our ski poles together and take a little breather and have a little chat. Wide range of terrain here, from groomed intermediate and green runs to Mogul blacks and double blacks, steeps as well as not so steep. It's got it all. I'm familiar with this resort. I'm not going to take a unknowing turn into some terrain I have no business being on. I know where that is. I know how to stay away from it. And there is plenty of fear here for me yet. And a lot to learn yet. And there's the Hell Roaring Lodge with the famous nachos. We're going to go in, grab a beer, and get a last run in. Have a good one.